this day has come and gone, the pain from this day still lingers on. As I lay my weary head down to rest, to forget this day I'll try my best. Though I try to relax, even though my head is pounding, I drift off to sleep within my comfortable surroundings. My thoughts of a peaceful journey is what I tend to embark, but in my dream there is nothing, it's completely dark. There is no light, no noise, not one faint sound. I can't understand what's happening, nor why or how. But suddenly in the darkness, there's a tap on my head. Then a familiar voice that said, time to get out of bed. I open my eyes, and I'm happy as well as sad, because the person that awoke me happened to be my dad. Through my confusion but joy, I couldn't even speak, as my dad rubbed my head and gave me a wink. Am I dreaming, or have I traveled back into time? Is this an illusion? Am I back in 1979? He rubbed my head, but not for long, and then I sat up and realized my headache was gone. He said, get up and get dressed. It's going to be a beautiful day. And my only reply was a quiet, okay. So I washed up, got dressed, and carefully walked through to the kitchen, still afraid to talk. The sadness that I felt is no longer as heavy, as my dad smiled and said, breakfast is ready. The sadness is now gone, and now I am just glad to be sitting down having breakfast, just me and my dad. He asked me, what's going through your mind? How do you feel? I replied, I know I'm dreaming, but this seems so real. Suddenly I heard a car horn, beep, 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 and a voice itself said, Mark, let's go, move your feet. I stared at my father with my eyes wide open. He smiled, winked, and said, you better get going. Another voice said, yo, it's time to go. I opened the front door and there's my friends, Danny and Ho. As I got into their car, filled with delight, my dad said, bye, Mark, I'll see you tonight. As we drove around town, listened to old school jams, we pointed at each other, saying, hey, that's my boy, that's my man. As we stopped at a red light, I saw many familiar faces, men, women, all colors, all races. My uncles, my aunts, and some of my other friends. I prayed to God, don't let this dream ever end. I saw Mrs. Cummings, Mr. Lopes, even Kevin's mom. Everyone happy, just moving along. Well, the day is now over, and the evening has come. So sadly, I know the reminiscing is done. After Danny and Ho dropped me back off at my house, they drove away, yelling, love you, Mark, peace out. I opened the front door, and in my sights, my dad in his recliner smoking his pipe. As I kneeled next to him, crying on his shoulder, I said, I don't want this dream to ever be over. He shook his head and pointed down. And as I looked, I could see straight through, past the ground. It was as if I were looking at a different dream. But all I could hear was the crying, the yelling, the screams. I jumped up against the wall as if I was pinned. Now I understand. Reality just kicked in. As the people below begin to cry and weep, I now realize I have just passed away in my sleep.